Well, welcome to this episode of Did She Really Say That? And this is going to be the episode, ladies, as you're listening in about love, about relationships. Because here's what I know, we're high achieving women. We put everything else first, except for ourselves. And a lot of the times that affects our relationships. So I brought Lynda on with me today because I really want to have a true, authentic conversation around that journey of entrepreneurship, relationships, the good, the bad, the ugly. And she is a life coach, mentor, writer, speaker who's really dedicated her life, ladies, to you, right? She's dedicated her life to helping women just like you have a fulfilled, happy lifestyle with purpose and love, right? Changing the way you view relationships, doing the deep work that you've been avoiding because we know because you have everything else going on, but really getting back into yourself. So creating the space for you to be in a relationship. What does that look like from a feminine energy side? What does that look like in a give and take in a relationship? And I know that this is going to be a must listen to episode that you're going to want to hear over and over again. So without further ado, Lynda, welcome to the show.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Katrina. It's great to be on your podcasts. I'm a big fan.
I do. Thank you so much for being here. So let's talk about this. You've been working with women over what the last few. Let's, you know what? We'll stop right here. We'll go back, rewind, and say, okay, how did you get on this journey of getting into relationship coaching and life coaching and love coaching?
Well, it's really a product of me.
Mm.
I was an entrepreneur for many years, and I still am to an extent, but I was that stereotypical high achiever in my 30s and early 40s. I was running a very successful public relations agency. I was on 24/7, high achieving, setting myself bigger and better goals. I got divorced in my early 30s, and I went out dating, and I was so naive to the whole dating world. I met my ex-husband in my early 20s, so we're talking 20 odd years ago now. And there wasn't dating apps back then. We met through a friend.
Yeah.
And so dating in my early 30s, it was a wild walk in the park. Wow. I was naive. I was so unaware of myself. Um, there's so many limiting beliefs, dating emotionally unavailable, non-committal guys. It was all going on. I dated narcissists, sociopaths, you name it. I could actually write a book on it.
Holy crap.
But no, that was going on in my personal life in my 30s while I was thriving at
Mm.
work. And in the same time, in the same breath, I've always had a huge interest in well-being, but more on the inner journey, the emotional, mental health. My father passed from suicide when I was 18 years old, so we've always had that interest on psychology and how we tick and how the mind works and how it's all linked together, body, mind, and soul. So that's always been an interest of mine. And I've been on my own inner journey since my early 30s. And it led me to start studying coaching and getting my accreditation in NLP. I've studied with an ex-Buddhist monk on mindfulness and meditation. So I started gathering all these tools, and concurrently I also used to run a wellness magazine in Singapore. So I got to learn and interview all these amazing experts in the field of well-being, but predominantly it was on mental health and mindset. Um, and then my purpose came calling. I was getting
Mm.
burnt out at work. I wasn't loving what I was doing anymore. It was still successful, but it was a real slog. And in my late 30s, I read Simon Sinek's Start with the
Mm.
Why. If you heard of that book, it's one of
Yep.
his first, what made him famous, really. And I realized my purpose wasn't running a PR agency. And I was literally like, fuck.
What? This isn't my life's
Ah!
journey?
I've got an office in Hong Kong. I've got a huge team in Singapore. I mean, I was having a fabulous life. I was traveling the world with these amazing luxury hotel brands. I mean, anyone would be so envious of my life.
But
Business
you're
class
empty.
flights. Yeah, yachts, luxury yachts here, business class flights there, Michelin star restaurants here. I mean, it was all going on, but I was empty. I was
Mm.
empty, and it's like one of these revolving doors that keeps slapping you around the face until you finally
Yes.
learn the lesson that it's really not doing anything for you and you have to make a change. So I had to be really brave and rip the plaster off and basically I wanted to help people in more deep and meaningful ways.
Yeah.
So I sold parts of my PR business off, wound the rest of it down, and I became a full-time coach. So
Okay, I'm going to
I,
stop you right here.
yeah.
So I have a question because a couple things you said. So first off, for all my listeners, how many of you kind of resonated with what she said so far? So I want to pause here because a lot of you are doing things that you're not enjoying. You're just doing to do. But then there's another piece that you just said here. So you basically, what had you close down as opposed to sell off the business?
Um, I sold
You sold parts of it. Okay.
parts of it, but I could have sold it before COVID, and I decided not to, which was a wise decision because COVID happened and my hospitality clients were on pause for the COVID period, so I wouldn't have got the payout. And if I wanted to sell, I would have to grow my business by 20% and
Oh,
then stick. So that would have taken 2 years and then stick through the sale. Because when you're a service business, you are the brand. So
yes.
I would have had to stay with the business for at least 2 or 3 years. So then I
Okay.
was like, okay, that's 5 years of my life. I'm 40 years old. I don't want to spend the next 5 years, 5 years of my life, 5 years of my life deeply unhappy and unfulfilled. So I had to be brave and make a decision. And happiness is paramount. Money can be earned back. I'd saved tons of money previous years. I'd been savvy, and the money I had made, I'd invested. So I did have, a backup for a few years after then.
Okay.
But it was a real big decision because I had the ego, the PR queen ego to let go of. I always know my identity was public relations. She's the PR girl. Everyone goes to her in Singapore. She was the lens on Asia for the Western market. All these identity shifts that I had to make. And
Oof. And you had to
fun,
peel a way through also.
absolutely. And that voice, what will people think? What will
Mm.
people think? Oh, she's a failure. She's closing a business down. What will people think? Well, what will people think? The right people will think, oh, actually, all the people that are close to me that know me inside and out, including my clients, were like, actually, this is a natural evolution for you. We
Yeah.
know how passionate you are about coaching. We know how great you are in the well-being space. This is actually a natural step. We're so sad to see you go, and we'll have to go with another PR agency. But they were all huge supporters. But it's the naysayers on the periphery of your
Yep.
circle that were like,
The people
"Ooh,
that,
she's failing. Oh,
yeah.
yeah."
It's the ones that don't
Um,
know you, that don't understand the transition and journey. And the reason I kind of point that out is because I think as women, we don't always understand or know like the time frames. Like I'm trying to give like that business savvy sense to it. Like what Lynda just shared is like, okay, it didn't make sense for me to stay another 5 years in something that was making me miserable when I could be shifting and doing something else. Like it's not failure. It's not giving up. It's a transition and it's
yeah.
natural. It's a natural evolution. So you got into coaching. So what was that transition like for you to move from a PR into coaching? Did it feel, sounds like it felt fairly natural in terms of the business savvy and getting it all set up.
Yeah, in some ways, because I still do some coaching in the PR world. So I support agencies with their well-being and their mindset and some basic PR training skills still, but I'm more so on the mindset training these
Okay.
days. So that stuff felt quite natural. But I think most of the work I do now is remotely. I do go into some agencies and some corporate environments in London and Manchester. So I do get out and about, but I'm primarily home-based coaching online, whether that's group coaching or one-on-one. So it's a huge shift from running around like a blue-ass fly in my old PR world, from office to client meeting to hotel launch to the airport to jump on a flight to a luxury yacht. I mean, my life is wildly different, but I love it. And it feels real when I'm in coaching mode. There's nothing that makes me feel more in purpose than anything. When my ladies show up and they're literally telling me, why didn't I know you 20 years ago? I've had so many aha moments this week. I know exactly what I've been triggered by, but why my previous relationships ended the way
Mm.
that they did. And I'm empowering these women to go on this inner journey of self-awareness, improve their self-worth and confidence, so they can therefore attract that loving relationship they deserve. And that is a product of me, right?
Yeah.
So I have been on this relationship path of not knowing why I was dating all the wrong guys, finding emotionally unavailable, non-committal guys, and getting really disappointed with how I was treated. So the Evolve Woman program is me, and I only really coach on topics and niches that I've experienced firsthand.
Well, and I love it that you call it the evolved woman because it really is um, permission for women and for you to have gone through this journey. So let's talk about the dating world right now for women that are getting out there, that are looking for their partner, that have are going through this online cray crayness that it just seems to be getting worse. So talk a little bit about what you're seeing out there and what women are experiencing, and how you're helping transition that.
Yeah, and you're right, there's an awful lot of negative press out there.
Mm.
In your neck of the woods, there's the New York Times. In my neck of the woods, there's the Guardian, and it's like, oh, women are doomed to be single. 50% of women will be single by
Or
2050.
we want
We're,
to be single, that we're choosing to live like as hermits or something. It's like, oh, but they want to be single. I'm like,
well,
no.
it's clickbait as well. Like bad
Ugh,
news sells. They're not going to be saying, oh, women are finding more deep and meaningful relationships. They're not going to be selling that kind of stuff.
why
The
not? Give us some hope, people. Yes, I
well,
know.
the issue is though, society just haven't caught up with women. We have sped off like a rocket over the last 20 years. We're independent, we're smart, we're intelligent, we can do everything for ourselves. And men are trying to catch up with us. And
Mm,
so you do get this conflict in the dating world where men don't know how to handle us. But on the other side of things, women also have to go on their inner journey and
mm.
look at who they are. We're all a product of our experience, whether that's childhood, how we were parented, how past relationships have affected us. Um, when we are high achievers, we are in masculine mode most of the time. I was, and we're in our masculine, doing proactive, go, go, go energy. And to attract a guy, you need that yin and yang, the masculine and feminine energy balance. And when you're operating it in masculine all the time, it can be repelling.
Yep.
That's not to say, though, we have had to be in our masculine. We are women operating in a man's world. So we've had to be in our masculine to get shit done, to prove ourselves. So when women come to me, and I've just had a lady going through my course actually, she's like, oh my God, I've realized I've been in my masculine energy for 35 years. And first of all, I'm like, don't beat yourself up about it.
You
You have
didn't
done.
know what you didn't
No,
know.
exactly. And it's so don't start beating yourself up about it. You had to be in that masculine energy to
Yeah.
survive in a man's world. So approaching it with a bit of care and compassion, but also understanding what feminine and masculine energy actually is.
So
So there's a
let's
lot of
talk about this.
yes,
Let's talk.
please.
Let's dive into what is masculine energy because I hear this a lot. And when I first started hearing this, it sounded a lot of woo. Like it was an
Oh,
intangible, like here's masculine energy, here's feminine energy, as if they're like competing against each other. Like one is better than the other.
no.
Not true, by the way, listeners.
No, and you're right. There's so much woo-woo weird stuff out there about what feminine energy is, and oh, be more girly, be more submissive, let the man lead. Well, I know the bullshit. Who wants to be girly or submissive and all this fakery? Oh, text a man these 5 words and he'll instantly fall in love with you. There's so much bullshit out there,
What
right?
5 words? I'm now curious, Linda. No, I'm kidding.
No. And it's like, geez, will people stop spewing out all this rubbish? Um, but essentially, what the masculine and what the feminine is. The masculine is our strategy, our doing, our proactive. We're planning, we're always on, we're always succeeding, always organizing. It's the do, do, do. Whereas our feminine is more in the present. We're receiving,
Mm.
we're in flow, we're allowing creativity. It's nothing to do with being girly or, hey. Um,
It's not doing my hair and makeup and, putting on a
no,
shorter dress and a push-up bra. That's not feminine
no.
energy.
And they don't compete, they actually flow
Yeah.
beautifully together. So everyone thinks, oh, well, at work I'm 100% masculine. Well, you're actually not. So,
Mm.
for example, if you're in an in-person meeting or even online and you're presenting, you're in your masculine. You know, you're presenting, you're leading the room, you're leading the meeting, you're in your masculine energy. Then you quite easily slip into your feminine when you're
Mm.
listening with empathy, when you're listening to understand. That's when you're in your feminine. You're also in your feminine when you're allowing space to think and breathe and allowing flow and creativity. So instead of answering something right off the bat, you're like, okay, thinking around a solution, being creative, allowing that connectivity with yourself, allowing that intuition. So a lot of the time when we're in our masculine, we're completely cut off from our intuition. So our gut, our gut brain, our that intuition down there, which is one of our
Super
most
important.
powerful traits. Yeah. So when we're in our masculine all the time, we're totally disconnected from our body. So when we're in our feminine, we're reconnected with ourself. So we can feel our sensations, and that sixth sense of that intuition can become incredibly powerful at work and in our personal lives. So when you're going out dating and you smell a rat and it feels, oh, I'm not sure how I feel about this. We're really understanding those sensations in our body, and we can start to make smart decisions using all forms of our brain, our head brain, heart brain, and our gut brain. But by
Yeah.
being in our feminine, and that's the only way to really tap into those sensations, that's where we become powerful.
Yeah, I get told by my friends a lot that I don't give men enough chances. Like I date him once and I can pretty much tell you whether this is going to go forward or like stall. And a lot of that's just the how they react towards me, how I'm reacting towards them, and I'm like this feels more friendship than anything else. But then the other question that I get they push back on, it's like, yeah, but friendship can evolve into love. You're not giving it a chance. So, what do you say to something like that out in the world?
Yeah, I think it's important when you start into dates is getting clarity about
Mm,
what do you actually want in a relationship. And when I find women, they're amazing at work. They have to-do lists, strategies, frameworks, all this stuff. But then when it comes to their dating life, it's like they're stabbing in the dark. Oh, right, there, let's
mm,
swipe on someone and going out on a date. It's like, what do you actually want? What do you value in a relationship? What are the most important things, those non-negotiables?
mm.
And yet and a lot of the time we have to strip away of what friends and family would like to see us with, what kind of guy society wants to see us with, what social media power couples look like, all that bullshit that
Oh
you
dear
have to strip
God.
away and get down to the core of what is going to make you really happy, what is
Yeah.
important to you. And so when we get really specific on those things and create a little strategy and a plan in terms of what this guy looks like and feels like, and how are you going to feel in his presence? What are things
Mm,
that are non-negotiables? It can be simple things, it can be large things. It's your specific plan
yeah.
and your specific values in terms of what is going to make you happy in a relationship. So getting specific on those things to start off really helps all the time wasters just fall by the wayside.
Got it. So this podcast has a lot. It's really about like bold comments, bold statements, and I think you've made some pretty darn bold statements. But in the world of talking to a client, maybe even coaching somebody, there was a moment you said something and they just kind of looked at you and said, "Did she just really say that?"
Well, there's lots of those moments. Um, I think there's a lot of aha moments that happen throughout my coaching program where it's not so much as did she really say that, but well, like, oh my God, I'm more self-aware. I've just been
Mm,
realizing all these unhelpful patterns that have been going on in the background. And it's more like not what I'm saying, but oh my God, this is the way I've been showing up. This is the way I am because of I'm a product of my experience. And now I'm self-aware. I can understand what my triggers are and how to move forward in a healthier
mm.
way. Um, I think the feminine and masculine energy is probably one of the big ones where that plaster is ripped off and they're like, oh my God, this is me. I've been in my masculine for so long. I would say that is one of the biggest shocks that my
Yeah.
clients have when they actually understand what the masculine and feminine is. And they know that actually they've got feminine within them. It's just a bit buried and they just need that opportunity to let it grow and shine.
Yeah, let it flourish in the environment in which they're at. As you coach women through this journey of their self-love, of being in relationships, do you find that it transitions or translates into other areas of their life?
Yes, absolutely. One of my former clients had a much healthier relationship with her CEO. So she was head of
Mm,
finance for this multi-conglomerate in London, and she was having an issue with her CEO and the way he was communicating, the way he was treating the team,
yeah.
and how I empower my clients to communicate. How to solve problems in a relationship also translate to solving issues in the workplace. So it actually transformed her relationship at work for the better. So all the tools that I equip my clients with helps with work. It helps with forming better connections and friendships and connections with your family. So it really goes full circle. And a client that just left yesterday, actually, she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I've just learned in the last 12 weeks." It's just helped so many areas of my life, and she's dating and she's meeting some amazing guys. Not the one yet. I can't promise you'll meet the love of your life within 12 weeks. Could be possible,
Could
but
be.
yeah,
Yes.
but she's meeting guys much closer to the kind of love of the life that she
Yeah,
is.
the man she wants to be with, not the man that's just showing up and she's, having
Yeah, it's
to
like, oh God.
fix
I mean,
him. That's
yeah,
the worst one.
no.
Not to be fixed. Your job is in dating is not to fix each other.
No, and that's the thing. As high achievers, we're getting used to fixing everything, aren't we?
Yeah.
Meet someone, oh, no problem. Yeah, I can sort his emotional unavailability out. I can sort that bad dress sense out. I can sort his time management out. I can sort his mummy issues out. No, 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 no.
Those never go away. That is not your job. That is their job and role. Oh my God. So my next question for you, Linda, is what's next? What do you see moving forward for your business, for your coaching program? What does that look like for you in the next year, 5 years? What do you want it? What's the hope, dream, and desire?
Yes, I'm actually applying for a TEDx at the moment.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be about how high achieving women tag their self-worth to
Mm,
external validation, which I see as a big thing. And there's actually research that backs it up, which stems from all sorts of experiences, which I'm not going to go into too much, but it's actually a big trend and I see it in my clients. So that's something I'm working on right now. I am gearing up for a whopping January because January is generally a busy time of year for me where people have got the last year out of the way. Right, I really want to find the love of my life. Let's do
yeah.
something about it. So I've got quite a lot of programs starting at the end of the year and early January. So that is my main focus. And of course, I have my podcast as well, PSI Love Me, which I continue to do to get wonderful experts and guests on there that can really support my clients' journey. So yeah, more public speaking gigs, more just helping more women. That's what I love doing. Um, I think my main goal, and it is really for me to leave a legacy, and I think
Mm,
that's really important for your listeners to hear as well,
agreed.
is when you're on your deathbed looking back on your life, like what did you add to the world? What did you leave behind? And yes, we can make all the money in the world. We can have amazing job titles and, a swishy branded, flashy company, but what did we actually do
Mm,
to support the world? And I'm not saying we have to change a million people's
right.
lives, but it's like if you can just support and help change people and make them feel better and happier, I think that's an amazing thing to do. Like what you were doing on your retreats. It's a fabulous thing to be able to do for other busy business owners, for them to go away and feel amazing about themselves. And
Yeah.
that's what my purpose is, to help as many women as possible, to help them also believe love is possible. He is out there. And I think there's so
Mm,
much negative press around dating at the moment. You go on social media, you read the news, and it's all doom and gloom, and it doesn't have to be that way. There are some great guys out there. I found my guy a year ago, and he's the absolute love of my life. But I had the mindset, I knew he was out there. I believed he
Mm,
was out there. I had specific frameworks and strategies and value elicitations that I went through that I was so, so clear on what I did and didn't want. And before I met him, I met some great guys, like really great guys. They taught me about myself. I learned something new. But I knew I was getting closer and closer to meeting him because the
yeah.
quality of my dates was getting better and better. So, yeah.
Hint, hint, ladies. She said it a couple times. When you're dating, the quality of the men get better and better means you're getting closer. So refine, think, and I will tell you this, as women, as women in business, relationships are number one key. And the more we can have a deeper understanding of relationship with ourselves, with who we want to be interacting with, and we talk about in the business world finding your right avatar. In the world of dating, it's the same thing. You have to strip away all the BS and get down to what's the core value. Well, who are you looking to align with? And I think that's the part of the journey that I love what like Lynda shares with you. So, Lynda, I know you have a gift as we're wrapping up. I can't believe we're almost through this episode. This is such good, juicy stuff.
Ah,
Um,
gone by in a flash.
it has. So let's talk about the ability to get into your coaching program. You're offering a really incredible deal, but it is really simple just to get coaching from you. And ladies, if you're like looking to date, then that's who you want to get with. So get into this conversation with her. So talk a little bit about the program and what's available inside for them.
Yeah. So it's called the Evolved Woman
Thank
Program.
you.
It's a 12-week journey, and I help single female entrepreneurs and high achievers improve the relationship they have with themselves so they can attract the love of their life, just like what I did and what I have coached many, many women on. So it's 12 weeks, it's group coaching, one-on-ones with me, as well as specific workshops every week for them to do their inner work. And then I guide them through every session. It's very hands-on from me. There's a lot of programs out there which you have to log into some big system and keep up with it. But I know I've been there as a busy woman, so I literally spoon feed my clients what they need to do every week. So it's really, really easy and straightforward to follow. It's really time efficient, no fluffiness. I'm an ex-communications girl, so everything in there is very succinct and packed, so you get the most out of it in as little as time as possible. And I would love to offer your listeners 30% off for the next 2 months if they sign up for the January 2026 program.
I love that. So definitely sign up for the 2026 program. As you're talking about the involved women, you know what? I think what's brilliant is that it is a high touch, right? That it is the sense of connecting with the females. I did have a quick thought that blew through the back of my mind that I just want to ask a question around. Is it like hundreds of women going through? I mean, it feels like if you're doing one-on-one coaching, it's a very intimate experience during those 12 weeks of working with you.
Yeah, no, it's really exclusive. So the group coaching calls, I have between 4 to 6 on each group coaching calls. And sometimes because I have a 2 hour time period of when I coach, you might not see another lady. Sometimes you will, and you'll share, your experiences throughout the program and your dating, which is quite nice to that I have a community as well. But it's very high touch. And in the world of AI and all the artificial intelligence out there, it's real, it's authentic, and I handhold you throughout the whole way. I'm available on email for 12 weeks. So
Okay.
I feel like some of the women don't use me enough. I'm like, use me. It's only like when they start dating, they start emailing me, and then they realize the responses I'm giving. I'm like, oh my God, I should have been emailing you from week one. But yeah, it's really high touch and hands on, and I absolutely love the results that I get, and the transition that I see from all my clients. It's amazing.
And I think that's what we want as women. We want to find the love of our lives. We want to be able to be in a relationship that feels as comfortable as waking up in the morning and being safe. I think that's one of the big things for women is that safety too. Is when we talk about being a woman in the world, there is that place, the sense of feeling safe. We're always in a fight and flight as human beings. And so the ability to create safety in a relationship from both partners and knowing that is really, really key. So, Lynda, I just want to say thank you for everyone that's listening, ladies, and maybe even the gentlemen. Um, I hope you took away something in here that made you think, oh my gosh, this is something that I can use. Or I know another woman that could definitely benefit from this conversation and getting to work with Linda. So the evolved woman, excuse me, I'm coming off a little bit of a cold. Go ahead. There, she's offering a 30% discount. You just have to mention Truth Bomb, keeping it really simple. And just say, I heard you on the podcast. I'd love to learn more about the program. Dive in, connect with her. If nothing else, her amazing accent is reason enough just to, do business with her. Throw that in there. Have some fun, get a little bit of the quirkiness, and she's just amazing. So, thank you so much, Linda, for being on here, for dropping truth bombs, for being truly authentic around your journey around relationships. What had you create this program? The evolution from one business into the next, and your life legacy, what you're creating moving forward. And I hope to God to find you on a TED Talk stage. That would be amazing, and just everything that you're doing. So thank you so much again for being on this episode of Did She Really Say That? Audience and listeners, definitely tune in. Linda, any last words for our listeners?
Um, my lasting words of wisdom would be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Mic drop. With that, ladies, we'll see you on the next episode.